Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Monday, April 4th, 2022. We welcome you to the March meeting of the Milford Board of Aldermen. Please join me now as we salute our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, will you please take the roll?
Alderman Archiola.
Present.
Alderman Beatty.
Present.
Alderman Broster.
Present.
Alderman Casey.
Madam Secretary, Alderman Casey would like to be excused.
Alderman Gurman.
Present.
Alderman Genentasio.
Here.
Alderman Harla.
Here.
Alderman Marlowe.
Here.
Alderman Moffett.
Here.
Alderman Picelli.
Here.
Alderman Parente.
Here.
Alderman Vitro.
Here.
Alderman Vitale. Alderman Willis.
Here.
13 present.
13 present. We do have a quorum. Thank you, Madam Secretary. The next portion of the meeting is devoted to public comment. Statements are strictly limited to the legislative function of the Board of Aldermen. Please use every effort to limit public speaking to the permissible business of the Board of Aldermen. The time limit granted to each speaker shall be 3 minutes. Residents, taxpayers, and electors may address the board at this time. The board encourages speakers not to express derogatory, insensitive, or offensive statements, or to engage in personal attacks against individuals. To allow everyone an opportunity to speak, I'd ask that everyone please limit their comments to 3 minutes. Anyone wishing to address the board can do so at this time. Please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Ann Berman. I live at 77 Pelham Street, Milford, and I'm here representing as a member of the Environmental Concerns Coalition. First, I'd like to thank the city for donating 500 trees. It's wonderful. It's been very successful. I guess they've all been taken. And I'm here also just to announce, especially for exhibitors, we're also going to have an exhibit section located at Eisenhower Park in the lower field. And so that's going to be on April the 23rd from 8 to 12. We welcome and invite clubs, civic organizations, nonprofits, for-profits, artists, and other local groups, individuals, to be an exhibitor and encourage you to include in your exhibit an environmental message for protecting the earth. Your exhibit needs to be in place by 8 p.m. That is the previous day. However, if you want to get up real early, 7:30 is the deadline to get your exhibit in. There are no fees and plenty of space and located at the lower field. And I will give my flyer to the city clerk. I'd just like, since I have an extra minute, to bring to attention for drivers that we're all act like we're kings and queens of the road, but the road also belongs to bicycles. And recently I saw a young man riding his scooter, not his scooter, but his the thing that the kids are on, the skateboard down the middle of the road. He wasn't just a kid. He was a young man with a wonderful beard and mustache, and so he took up his side of the road. So things are getting, now with new scooters, the road is going to be taken up, and drivers have to be a little more careful. The one thing that I do want to bring up is that the state passed a law that anyone who's stepping off the curb, and if they haven't put their hand up, they need to do that, to warn them that they're going to cross the road. And there's a fine for that, so people have to be aware when they see people not near a regular walkway or boardwalk that goes across the road, that they have the right to cross the road. So I just wanted to bring that up. The other thing I wanted to say is that people do not understand that that bicycles are allowed in the roadway. And that's why that impression of the bicycle at Gulf Street, that means those bicycles are allowed to be there. That's their road too. So thank you very much.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. My name is Jeff Cartwright, and I want to speak about Taiwan for a moment and how it's relative to Milford. Taiwan has mining. It has marble, sulfur, gold, copper, oil, and gas. It also manufactures computer chips. 71% of the world's computer chips are made in Taiwan. And we're allied with them, and we buy those. That's where we get most of our computer chips. Presently, Communist China is poised to militarily take Taiwan. Now, that could result in an issue of you not having computer chips. Your cars won't run, your phones won't run, your TVs won't work, ships won't sail, and Mr. Kerry's airplane may not fly. So the U.S. needs to pump fuel. It needs it to protect the United States and our allies. Good luck. Have a good evening.
Good evening. My name is William Wazalewski, and I've been a resident of 280 Mary Ellen Drive for 32 years. I'm a member of the Milford Pickleball Association, which is a social pickleball program with the Milford Recreation Department. Pickleball, for those of you who may not know, is the fastest growing sport in the world. And unlike most other sports, it has a social aspect that many times is greater than its physical benefits. Our first year was 2021, when we had 294 registered players, 148 residents of Milford, and 146 non-residents playing at the Eisenhower Park pickleball courts on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday mornings from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. This format allowed for the maximum number of players at the maximum use of the courts within the time allotted. The on-site feedback was that everyone enjoyed the experience. The validation that this program was extremely successful was evidenced by 130 resident players and 106 non-resident players signing up for this year's program as soon as registration opened in February. There were monetary charges associated with the program. It was $25 for residents and $75 for non-residents. That was an increase of $25 for non-residents over the previous year, yet 106 people saw the value in that program and chose to register. Last year's program generated over $11,000 in registration fees for the Recreation Department, and this year's amount was over $11,000 when the Recreation Department abruptly announced that all non-residents were being dismissed from the program and their money was being refunded. This is a loss of over $8,000 in income to the Recreation Department, and the reality that many of the friends that we had made over the last few years were basically told, go away, by the Recreation Department of the city of Milford, which is supposedly the small city with a big heart, or so our city motto says. When reaching out to find the answer to why the sudden change to a seemingly successful and profitable program, many of those inquiring, and some of them are here tonight, were not even given the common courtesy of a response to their question to the person that they left messages or emails for to the question. Others were given the excuse that the program was changed to serve the majority. The majority of what? We, as citizens, taxpayers, and members of the community, deserve better than to be ignored as we have. We have reached out to try to meet with those involved in this dreadful decision to no avail, which brings us to this point. I'm not sure if this is the correct forum to deal with this issue, or if any of you can and will help us be heard, but it seems like an opportunity to demonstrate that you are really our representatives. Thank you for your time.
Kind of want to dance. I don't know. Good evening. My name is Victoria Kovac, and I live at 60 Ocean Ave in Milford. I started playing pickleball about 4 years ago, and the benefit I found in it is that I met people at that point. There was no association. There was nothing, and it was just people at the court teaching how to play. This is a sport I can actually play until I'm 90 years old. God forbidding I can still play. It gives every level, every ability. Everybody can play this game. To join the MPA for me, I still work. It's really not that valuable. It's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, Saturdays. Well, I want to play on a Saturday morning between 8 and 12 because that works for my schedule. I want to do other things during the day. And what has been restricted, from what I understand, is to a much smaller amount of time and space, which means I'm going to join the MPA, I'm going to spend my money, and I still actually have to go on a Saturday morning and wait to play. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me. Not that I'm still not willing to do it, because I'm still going to show up. But what's going to happen is that the people that we play with that go there on a continual basis, that we've all made great friendships with, they're going to be there too. And they're going to say, hey, I understand it's reserved for MPA, or you only have this certain portion, but I'm still going to want to play with them. So there's ways to skirt the whole situation with court reservations and things like that. That's not what I want to do, because if I get a court reservation, that means it's my court for 2 hours. I'd rather play with all these people. I don't want to say, I'm not going to back off my court because I reserved it. And I think that what we're trying to do is come up with a reasonable expectation so that we can all play together. I don't think it's fair to eliminate other towns from playing, or other out-of-town people from playing. I think that everybody here should be given the same opportunity, especially because it's economical too. People are willing to pay. I mean, it's a great place, it's a great environment. I personally, since I started playing, play in other towns. I go to Old Saybrook, I go to Cheshire, I go to Rocky Hill. I also go out with my friends afterwards. We go for cocktails, we go have a drink, maybe we eat, whatever we do, but I'm in their town. I bring the same enthusiasm to my town. I started having some people come on Tuesday nights. We go downtown to the harbor, beautiful area down there across from the Smith's Landing, where they put in the new boat ramp and they put the new nice picnic tables, and we order takeout from here in Milford. We're missing that opportunity. I have 17 to 18 women that will show up to play with me. Maybe it's not the right time in courts and I have to reserve courts, but the fact that I can bring out-of-towners here that say, wow, downtown Milford is awesome. You guys have got this beautiful space. You've got great restaurants. You've got a great atmosphere to sit, to enjoy. I want to come back. I'll come back on the weekend. Can you rent the kayaks from the boat launch? I mean, that's the whole theory of pickleball, is bringing everyone here to our beautiful town, which I don't want to eliminate that from happening. And if I can say to my friend in Old Saybrook, you're willing to drive 45 minutes to join our MPA, come, do it, because it's a great place and people here are phenomenal. And we love having you, and I want you here. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Bill Newbert, 12 Seaview Avenue. I also am a member of the Milford Pickleball Association. First, I want to make clear to everybody what has happened. We have 300 players who used to play 3 days a week on 8 courts. Now, if you imagine, 8 courts is a maximum of 32 players, 2 on each side. Sometimes it's only 16 players, 1 on each side, a couple, a family practicing. So to have an association allows you to circulate a lot of people through the court. They not only make friends, they play in with people they don't know at all skill levels. There's a circulation going on among the people, and you've just seen it. And it circulates into the reputation of the town. In case you don't know it, Eisenhower has a reputation in the state of Florida that's phenomenal. People come from all over to play here because they get good competition to improve their skills. It's not like tennis, where we all play tennis for 40, 30 years. We play with our 2 or 4 friends every week, or our 6 friends. Pickleball is a social learning experience where everybody in the country is learning the game, and the essence of the game is not just playing, but playing with a wide variety of players to learn. So it's kind of tragic that we're going to have to shoehorn all these people into 4 courts now, where we used to have 8 courts. I wish that administrative decision had not been made. It's not good for Milford. It's not good for the citizens of Milford. It's not good for pickleball in Connecticut. And I say Connecticut because Eisenhower is the mecca of pickleball in Connecticut. But next week, it will not be so. Thank you.
Good evening, Alderman. My name is Penny Vasilis. My address is 111 Broadway. And I would like to thank the Milford Recreation Department for the creation of the Milford Pickleball Association, Milford Indoor Pickleball, Milford Competitive Pickleball, the Mayor's Pickleball Tournament, and recently the addition of Milford Pickleball Lessons. I'd like to give a special thanks to Bill Garfield, Mike Dooling, Rich Minix, and Park and Recreation Commission member Felicia Shashenka for their tireless work and dedication to the success of these programs. Pickleball, as Bill said, is the fastest growing sport in America for many reasons. It's a fun way to exercise, easy to play for all ages. It's a very social sport, and it's inexpensive. As a member of the Milford Pickleball Association since its inception, I am in favor of the recent changes, including limiting membership to Milford residents with a cap of 120 and using 4 courts at Eisenhower Park on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. I do not know who is in charge of the Milford Pickleball Association. Is it a collaboration between the Milford Recreation Department and the Park and Rec Commission? Are there Milford Pickleball Association members who volunteer to run the program at the pickleball courts? Is a Milford Recreation staff member present on play dates? I know there is a clipboard with all the members' names and sign-in is required, but I do not know who manages the program. This year, there was confusion, starting with the unannounced Milford Pickleball Association registration process. Registration opened in late January without announcement from the Milford Rec Department. Last year, it opened at the beginning of March. Many out-of-town residents signed up as membership is capped at $250. Other towns opened registration for recreation programs to tax-paying residents a month before opening to out-of-town non-tax-paying residents. I agree that the Milford Pickleball Association should not utilize all the courts at Eisenhower Park. It eliminates people who do not wish to belong to the Pickleball Association from reserving courts. I also agree that the program should run 4 days a week, not 6, as was initially advertised this year. I would like to suggest appointment of Milford Pickleball Association ambassadors, members of the Milford Pickleball Association who volunteer to coordinate and run the program with the Milford Recreation Department. In addition, I would like to see a survey sent to the Milford Pickleball Association members for input to improve the program. In closing, the Milford Pickleball Association is a well-received, revenue-generating, highly successful program, which is another reason Milford is a unique and wonderful community. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to address the board at this time?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Eileen Torres. I live at 12 Lawrence Avenue here in Milford. I just wanted to collaborate what's been said. I've played sports my whole life. I grew up in the Bronx. I still have the Bronx accent, even though I've been here 22 years. This is my new home. I've been embraced by everyone here. It's been wonderful. Played basketball, softball all my life. Picked up pickleball 3 years ago, thanks to Felicia, Vicky, Bill, who taught me the game. Being a part of the Milford Pickleball Association was completely different than competitive sports. It was a board. You didn't know who you were playing with. You put your name. Got to meet 80 wonderful people from all over the county, from Milford, from other areas. But what was wonderful about it was that you're playing against 80-year-olds that were kicking my butt. It makes you humble. It was just a wonderful feeling. It was more than just the game. It was a social part, going down to the harbor. My wife retired. She wants to move to Florida. I am holding on to the house here in Milford because there's something about this city that I don't ever want to let go. I'll be one of those 6-monthers, but the Milford Pickleball Association is something you got to come see for yourself. It's amazing, the wonderful people here in the city. Thank you.
Can you give one out of towners opinion real quick?
No one from out of town can speak at the vote. No. Anyone else like to speak to the Board of Aldermen at this point?
Point of order, I actually think we just attended a attorney did tell us that out-of-town people are allowed to speak.
No.
We can consult with our attorney. I think out-of-town people are allowed to speak at our meetings, and
Yes.
yes.
We're going to go into a 5-minute recess, please. Will the aldermen please take their seats? The aldermen please take their seats. No, nobody's going to speak of the taxpayers and residents. Alderman Harlan, agenda item number 3, consideration of minutes of the regular meeting held on March 7th, 2022.
Thank you. Hang on.
Alderman Harlan.
I'd like to propose consideration of the minutes for the regular meeting of the Board of Aldermen held on March 7th, 2022. Do I have a second?
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Agenda item number 4, there was no special meeting. Agenda item number 5, Chairman's Report. I'd like to welcome to spring and welcome to our city's budget deliberations. Starting tonight was our public hearing, and Wednesday night will be the first budget deliberations. Other than that, item number 6, the mayor has some recommendations. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Happy spring. I know the last couple of weeks have not been what any of us would hope for the start of the spring season, but it is my great hope and desire that we have a glorious second half of spring and start to a fantastic summer. With that, I do want to mention that April 23rd is Milford's Earth Day celebration. I think the official Earth Day is the 22nd, but there was someone at public comment, Ann Berman, who spoke about some of the Earth Day festivities. One of those festivities is our now annual, we've had it now for a couple of years, tree giveaway. Everybody received notice. In each year, the tree giveaway is dedicated to, in memory of someone who's recently passed. Last year, for example, it was in memory of Kate Orecchio, a longtime tree commission member and conservation member, and this year it is in honor or tribute to our very own Marty Hardeman. But folks can get their city-sponsored tree at Eisenhower Park. You do have to register in advance. The registration may be full at this point, but please feel free to call our Open Space Natural Resource agent, Jeremy Grant, if you have any questions or if you want to check up to make sure your tree has indeed been reserved. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I respectfully request your consideration and action on those items, a relatively light agenda this evening, 8A through 8D. Feel free to ask questions to me as they come up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next item on the agenda is unfinished business. There is no unfinished business. Moving on to agenda item number 8. Moving on to new business, Alderman Harla. Agenda item number 8A.
Agenda item number 8A. Pursuant to Article 2, Section 6 of the Charter of the City of Milford, the Board of Aldermen approval is requested for the appointment of Holly Musselman, 204 3rd Avenue, to complete the unexpired term of Marty Hardeman, Board of Aldermen representing the 3rd District.
Second the motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Alderman Giannattasio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, I would just like to personally welcome you to the board and look forward to working with you. We're starting our budget, as you know, so it's going to be very, I'm sure, challenging at first, but looking forward to working with you through the remainder of your term. Thank you.
Phil?
Alderman Beatty.
Thank you. Yes, welcome to the board. And we were looking at your resume. You pointed out that it wasn't up to date. I want to say that I have been on the Department of Health with you for many years, and you are conscientious and make a good contribution and all of that, and easy to work with. And I want to point out that you're a graduate of public higher ed, just because we have Chris Angeli, who is also public higher ed. You're the bachelor degree and the master's degree from that system. We also have an alderman who is undergraduate, at least, many of his degrees. So I think that you two are a living proof of what you give back to the community. And the record is that public higher ed feeds the community with activists and people who give back. So for that reason, you'll be commended, and we'll try to welcome you.
Any other discussion on the motion? Alderman Vitale.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Holly, welcome aboard. I had the pleasure of working with you on the Health Commission, so looking forward to your input and work on the budget coming up. Thank you. Welcome.
Any other discussion on the motion? Alderman Browser.
Through you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say Holly is a fantastic community member, and so is her husband, Frank. And Holly has done a great job on the board of Ed, and I think she's going to do a great job on the Board of Aldermen, and welcome.
Any other discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. At this time, will Ms. Moran, please come up to the podium, and the city clerk will swear you in. Thank you.
Duties and responsibilities according to law as a member of the Board of Aldermen of the City of Milford to the best of your abilities, so help you God. Congratulations.
I'd like to personally welcome Mrs. Mulrennan to the group, to the Board of Aldermen, and you will be assuming all of Alderman Hardeman's committees and liaison appointments, okay? And I gave you that sheet that says all that. But very, very welcome to our board. Yeah. Moving on to the next item on our agenda, 8B, Alderman Harler.
Item number 8B. Mike who? Item number 8B. Board of Aldermen approval is hereby requested for the appointment of Gary Montano, 24 Founders Way, as a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals to fill a present vacancy expiring the 31st of December 2026.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Alderman Giannattasio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, I would just like to thank Gary for volunteering your time in this capacity. Those that don't know Gary, Gary's a big asset to the city. He raises money for a lot of nonprofits, also contributing money for the Milford Columbus scholarships in the past, a former member, a former honoree. So Gary, thanks again. We truly appreciate your time and your commitment to the city. Thank you.
At this time, will our newly confirmed board members step forward and raise his hand to be sworn in by the city clerk? Alderman Vitale.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you. I'd like to thank Gary Montano for the work that he's done in our city and welcome him to Founder's Way as a neighbor. And I know that he will continue to do whatever is necessary in the city on planning and on the commission, and he will continue to contribute to in any way he can to the nonprofits, because he's been a big asset to those nonprofits in Milford. Thank you. Thank you, Gary, for giving your time.
Thank you, Gary, for all your past work, and I'm sure you're going to give it hell again. You're very welcome.
Mr. Chairman, just to...
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Just so it's crystal clear, would you mind voting on that again? I just didn't hear the...
We had all the discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to abstain from voting due to my relationship with Mr. Montano, as he's my father-in-law.
Thank you, Alderman Pasali. So done. Next item on the agenda is 8C, Alderman Harla.
Item number 8C, the Board of Aldermen approval is requested for the attached resolution regarding the State of Connecticut Local Capital Improvement Program Assistance Program
Second,
for 2022.
A motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Agenda item number 8D, Alderman Harla.
Item number 8D, the Board of Aldermen approval is requested for the attached resolution regarding cash advancement for the State of Connecticut Local Capital Improvement Program Assistance Program for 2022.
second the motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Agenda item number 9, there is no new business. Agenda item number 10, there are no budget memo transfers. Agenda item number 11, moving on to refunds, Alderman Harla. Agenda item number 11A.
Item number 11A, in consideration for refunds in the amount of $24,619.38.
Second,
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Agenda item number 12, are there any reports of standing committees?
Yes, I have a report from...
Alderman Beatty.
Thank you. I'd like to make a report as in the role of chairperson of the Public Works Committee meeting. I use the word "I," although we did a lot of consensus building along the way. I wish to present a report. The purpose is to inform both our colleagues on the Board of Aldermen who share fiduciary responsibility for budget approval and the public of our thinking as we engage in the budget deliberation process. I have been charged as chair of the Public Works Committee to provide a report on our discussions regarding resources for the department. Our committee is made up of senior elected officials with collective backgrounds as small business owners, managers of employees, fiscal managers, and strategic planners. We come with an appreciation of the fiscal plant priorities and the considerable success with minding the public purse. Our comments this evening are not merely advocacy for a particular department on which we serve as aldermanic representatives. We report as responsible constituents, not fans of and I use the I word, of a particular department, directors, or employees. I report from the Public Works Committee across political interest and party lines for the purpose of aiding the municipal budgetary planning process. And we want to thank by acknowledging from all, and there's consensus on this, that there has been enormous support over the years from the administration across all lines, but this is where we are currently. These are the premises upon which I am giving and advocating for the Department of Public Works. Public Works is an integral component for the city of Milford. Indeed, the comment has been made among us that Public Works is a core element of our success as a municipality. Public Works plays a critical role in public safety via oversight for wastewater treatment management, sewers, plowing, paving of roads, traffic mitigation, structure installation, trash collection, bulk pickup, and building maintenance. And we say that so that we reinforce the scope of their practice. Public Works is key to the administration's vision of the beautiful city of Milford. Street paving, pothole repair, line painting, storm cleanup are important elements that add beauty, services, and efficiency to the administration's goal for a strong, beautiful town. The budget allocation for Public Works is large, second only to the Board of Ed, representing a substantial commitment and investment from the city administration. We are acutely aware of this, and this fact frames the discussion. The significant expenditure of funds is not merely a cost, but an investment, and an important one for the city. Milford is able to apply for and accept funding from Federal Emergency Management Association, FEMA, at the federal level, from State Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, DEEP, at the state level, and from other grant sources. It is by the capacity, skills, expertise, and human power that these projects can be effectively executed in partnership with federal and state agencies. In this way, the Milford Department of Public Works creates a revenue stream critical to the development of the strong, safe, and beautiful municipality that we all live in. Likewise, these investments in infrastructure make Milford attractive to small business and help to generate a robust economy. We are early in the budget deliberation process. That is why I am giving this background. There will be plenty of time and opportunity to ask questions, make comments about the budget. These remarks are not intended to broaden the discussion this evening, but rather to report the concerns and thinking thus far. We want to make clear that the issue is not one of inadequate funding, but rather increased demand for services. It has, and this has come to myself personally by walking the field with the director and the assistant director, by looking at the projects, by really studying this. It is a rather of asking for additional funding for services. The Department of Public Works has taken on added responsibilities for ever-enhanced, almost finished, areas of the city. Both the western and northeastern geographical areas, Walnut Beach and Eisenhower Park respectively, have created additional demand for services. These two areas are welcome, positive development for the town, but stretch the capacity of city services. Thankful for the support of this administration and fiscal oversight for Public Works over many years, the committee is concerned about stress of overloaded personnel, frustration at not being able to provide excellent constituent services. Some have voiced concern about doing more with less. We concur that Public Works may require additional human power in selected areas, not decided by us, in order to continue to provide quality services to residents, and we are aware that that's in the budget. Our committee is under the understanding that there is not currently a municipal hiring freeze, and positions that have been vacated through patrician are in the budget. We are not trying to micromanage. Our thoughts are motivated by a commitment to the taxpayers of Milford so that the level of high-quality services will continue. Our discussions center around the shared premise that these goals can be accomplished without any additional need for tax increases or adjustment in the mill rate. Thank you.
Are there any other reports for standing committees?
No discussion allowed.
Seeing that none, close on the Rule 12, open on the Rule 13. Are there any reports from any special committees? Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Seconded.
Motion is made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.